Alright, I wanted to talk about Made in the USA movement, common sense, not Babylon, having some nationalism and integrity, also for protection and preservation, because if you start doing business with all kinds of terrorist nations and outsiders, if they're very corrupt, you see how they're all interlinked with the cartels and the taxes, and when corruption gets inside of this, it gets inside of that, and then they go hand in hand, and like the CIA, they try to put their disgusting gypsy fingers in everything. They're a bunch of infidels too. Like I always say, the only good CIA I've ever heard of is whoever stealth bombed in Venezuela. I heard that might be CIA. I'd say good job, and the rest of the CIA, you might as well stealth bomb them too. But I was gonna say, factories should start making stuff. You go in Dollar Tree, there's trinkets, there's candy. Look, I bought this in Big Lots today for 75 cents. It has some good ingredients. This is what I'm talking about. Look, some of you rich people, angel investors, this and that, you know, think about this stuff. Your ethics and integrity. Glucose syrup, sugar, gelatin, apple juice, citric acid, pectin, carnauba wax, artificial flavor, natural colors, carotene, copper, chlorophyllin. Copper's good for you. Curcumin, black carrot juice, blue number 1. Overall, pretty good ingredients. Jesus said what you put into your mouth won't defile you. It's every word that comes out of your mouth. Oh, this stuff is great. Load me up with the lead and cadmium Hershey's bars, and all the cacao is being sprayed by terrorists in Africa for years and grown in cadmium patches, intentionally, of course. They know what they're doing. Don't let those fucking bastards trick you with their, hey, Joe Bob, blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, me nice foreigner. That's what everybody did with the Mexicans. All the normal white people that were sitting out there, Christian, North Dakota, suburbia, out in North Dakota, the people out there, they look at what New York thinks, and they think they're different, because they're slower paced people. They're more like real people. They have more self-control. They're not like, they're the last people the cartels got to, like the sticks in New York, northern upstate New York. Then they crept into all the little tiny south places and towns and villages. By then they'd gone through all the towns. The hubs are towns, and cities is the major hubs. You know, think how they operate. Yeah, so I'm trying to get rid of these scumbags and any relationships with them. That's why globalism's bad, because globalism was full of corrupt Satanists and terrorists that they only try to... some of them don't even know the truth, and then they're they're literally like viruses and like evil, like murderers themselves and diseases. Like they just need to be wiped out like parasites they are. Because they're the ones that are the warmongering psychopaths. I mean, I'm against terrorists. They are terrorists. They're organized. Maga movement gets it. Trump gets it. Trump people get it. Real Christian people get it. God's gonna do it no matter what. There's some shit like this one thing, some things, he said in the Bible, point was we need made in the U.S. That's what alright, I'm getting off track. Made in the U.S. Factories, trinkets, coffee and chocolate. Chocolate's being, like, poisoned. Again, you don't have to die of the poison, but it's Jesus judges people's intent, and like I said, some of them might not know that God's protecting you, and some of them might think this and they don't even believe in God, so they think no one's watching, but God's actually watching and recording everything everyone does. That's the crazy part. It's more than Big Brother. Like them being Big Brother, a bunch of pedophiles and cannibals and perverts, sickos, too fucking perverted, not even the good perverted. I say I'd rather kill them than fuck them. And I'm not even a murderer. Anyway, gotta get factories here, make some candy here, sell it in the Dollar Trees and all the grocery stores here. Also, Ahold Delhaize is Dutch. They're foreign. They're Food Lion, Giant, Martin's, and a bazillion other stores, chains in the U.S., and it's all Ahold Delhaize. And I did work for them for 2 years in a Giant, and I'll say they suck. Their whole shit sucks. I read something that they were being, like, extorted in the background. There was all these data breaches. I was working there when this happened. And I looked it up, and it said things about, like, online hackers and, like them being extorted and hacked, and then their system, they couldn't send each other emails, and their system got all screwed up in a bunch of layers. So, I would like some U.S. major grocery stores, honestly. I'm fine with getting the Dutch out of here. You know, the Dutch are very slave-oriented. Remember what apartheid was South Africa? That was the Dutch. The Boer War, you know, the Dutch were like plowing like escaped slaves down with those fucking like an older version of a Mauser gun, whatever it was, but they were just plowing people down. I'm not against plowing down the wicked, but I don't think that's just what they were doing. I'm down for taking a Mauser gun down to the border and having certain guys marked in the background already as you know exactly who they are and plowing them down with a Mauser. I'm fine with these Venezuela middle of the desert strikes, and I like the ones when they just blow them all up and they blow up the drugs and everything when they set up the deal. We don't even want your fucking shit. Their shit is worthless. Jesus said it's not worth its salt. You're the salt. You know? Salt of the earth. Stay salty. Keep your salt. What else would you be seasoned by? They want to take your salt away. They don't want you to have light and truth and personality and love God and know that you're loved by God. They never want you to know that. Never. Don't you understand? They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a nigger fuck about you. So I'm at the point where I have to say, well, I don't give a nigger fuck about them then. And I'm fine with blowing them up because they're murderers and terrorists and satanic whack jobs and pedophiles anyway. So to me, it's a holy genocide. Cut them off the whole tree of life. Don't let them breed. You know, same thing with parasites. I'm trying to kill them all. I'm trying to kill them in any cycle I can. You know, that's why I say they should start spraying saline all over the fucking dark spots where they breed in dark, moist areas, swamps, places under dark, moist areas that sunlight doesn't get to a lot. And that the ground stays moist, therefore, doesn't dry out. That's where they breed. Anyway, alright, enough of this. So, American factories replace chocolate. I think we can grow chocolate here. That's one of those myths that the commie, satanic vampire people tried to tell you. You know, we need the factories here, made in the USA, national pride, self-protection, preservation, just because it's right, righteous, holy good. You know, don't let the terrorists come here and try to breed themselves in and mingle and set up a cartel fucking niggerdom state. I called it Nazi niggerdom for a while, but I kind of like don't say that very much these days, but they are all, you know, the Nazi gets thrown around a lot. But that's a whole complicated matter to talk about too. The point is, you look at Kim Jong-un, China, with the biolab, animal torture, bioweapons state, they just a loose person's liar and a cheater. If they can't get to you by, you know, oh, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. When they try to, well, let's try to force it on them. Oh, we'll put drugs in everything. Oh, let's get the kids on Ritalin and Adderall, Xannies. Oh, why? Because you people give kids pills before you fuck them and, like, Spanish fly them so they don't remember. Sometimes. The nicer ones, I guess. The ones that aren't there to kill them as CIA disposables. Like Robert David Steele was an old CIA boss not that long ago, and he did some ITNJ interviews and said some things that the CIA was, throughout his career, procuring children for people that typically wanted prostitutes before in the older days, and then they started getting more specifically pedophilic prostitution, they call it, but this is totally slavery. Because a child isn't a prostitute, that's fucking rape. No matter how we trained him to think he likes it. Yeah, I bet you did. You know, you're still a criminal. Don't you guys get it, Nambla? Don't you get it, California? Hollywood? Bohemian Grove? Europe? Don't you get it? Get it. Anyway, they're all gonna die. I'm down for genociding them out of the whole earth. I'm fine with that. I think it would be really good after that. But God is doing something new, he said, finally, and we'll see what that is. Because it'll be the best case scenario, I think. Alright.